Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Zero. Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Welcome back to Realm Royale Reforged. Today I wanted to talk with you guys, start a little bit of a debate and talk about what I think are the best and worst characters in Realm Royale Reforged. Now, this is a matter of pure personal opinion. If you agree or disagree with certain takes I have on certain characters, that is completely fine. That is the reason why I'm making this video, is to kind of get a general consensus of how people are feeling about the characters, the changes, all of that stuff. So be mindful of that. I'm simply sharing my thoughts after 2 days of playing Realm Royale Reforged. Now, it is without saying that each and every class has had at least one significant change, and obviously the bigger one is that the class locking is back. It was here at the very start of the game, and it has now returned. So that means that you can't equip, for example, a mage specific ability or a warrior specific ability on, say, a hunter or an assassin. You can only equip characters that are centered on your character and no one else's. And that has kind of shifted things both for the better and the worse, in my opinion. So without any further ado, what do I think is the best character in Realm Royale Reforged? Well, in my opinion, the warrior. The warrior still dominates on every field when it comes to movement, when it comes to engaging in and out of fights, self-protection, holding a fight, pure damage output. This guy is still a beast. If a warrior manages to find a full armor set at the beginning of a game, plus a class weapon, whichever it may be, an axe or a sword, he is going to dominate, and it's going to be very hard to stop him, especially if he upgrades his stuff down the line or equips Enrage or a shielding shout, anything that can help him within a fight. This guy still dominates on every front. He can just jump into a fight and leave just as soon. He's insane. And the axe is still very powerful, especially combined with the Enrage ability. So yeah, a little bit broken if you ask me, especially if people know what they're doing and do not miss a single axe. So handily, for me, warrior is still the #1 character in Realm Royale. Next up, I'm gonna actually give a tie between the hunter and the mage. Now, hear me out here. Both characters have great qualities, but they're slightly offsetting each other. That means that the hunter has some qualities that are a bit better than the mages, and vice versa. That means I can't really give a proper ranking of them. I can't put one above the other because at the end of the day, they completely even out. The hunter has insane damage weapons. The crossbow and the longbow. The longbow is still hitting, and the crossbow is really good, especially if you upgrade it. It's good for close quarters and that mid-range fight. But at the end of the day, the longbow still dominates. If you hit those headshots, if you hit those right corner peaks, it is an insane weapon. The grappling hook is a nice addition, but it is kind of wonky the way it works. You don't always hit the grappling hook, and that can be fatal within a fight because you're trying to get out and you're struggling to pull your grappler out, and you're still very vulnerable. I mean, your character doesn't move, it doesn't do a swirling motion. Plus, its abilities aren't really great. I mean, it doesn't really change much from its Realm Royale Classic kit. There's really nothing new about the character. There's the mine, which I guess is only very situational in my opinion. The flare is still really good, but does it warrant it being necessarily better than the mage? I do not think so. Speaking of, the mage also has pretty good weapons, but they're not as strong, and the ice staff can be especially difficult to play. The fireball is extremely good. It can absolutely melt people at any range, whether it be close quarters. The splash damage is going to carry you in those situations. Plus, her abilities are pretty neat. The healing flask doesn't immediately heal. It's an overtime thing that also boosts whatever's healing you. The ice block rework is pretty great. You can cancel it at will now, which is a huge gripe I had with the previous ice block. And also the fireball, which deals quite a bit of damage, but again, it's also pretty situational. I kind of think of it as like a grounding shock. I would use it in the same context, same situation. And also, who can forget the soar? The soar is insane. If you're fighting a mage and you're on the downhill side of like a cliff or a mountain or something, you are probably gonna lose because the mage can super easily disengage and just absolutely trail you, heal up, and then go back into a fight with that high ground. Soar is definitely one of the great abilities in this game. It is also very hard to hit mages while they're soaring. It is still possible, but it's just very hard. So, in my opinion, mage, definitely good, but again, better than the hunter, I wouldn't say so with her crossbow and her longbow. So that just leaves one single character, and that is the assassin. Now hear me out here. The Assassin is definitely much better than it was in Realm Royale Classic. It has a bit freer movement, its weapon rework with the heirloom and the sniper is a bit more balanced, and the heirloom is way more usable now. You can actually use it both in close quarters and kind of to put pressure on people at the mid-range. But the thing is that it's just too weak compared to the other characters. If you're playing Assassin, you need to be a god at movement and not being able to be spotted, because otherwise you're going to have a very, very bad time. Simply, the heirloom and the snipers are just not strong enough compared to all the other class weapons in the game. The heirloom has a damage output of 900 damage per second, which is good, but again, compared to a Mage Firestaff that can do up to 1000, a longbow that can do 1200 a hit, an axe that can do 1500 in a second, again, it's very, very hard for the Assassin to contest in this situation. And you might say, well, just use the sniper at long range and immediately rush people. The thing is that with the movement abilities of the other characters, they can very easily hide, heal up, and then immediately fight you again like you hadn't hit a sniper bullet at all. On top of that, the sniper is quite hard to use in the kind of end zones that happen these days. Because from what I've played, the end zones really focus on building centered areas, and unless you have a very, very good shot and confident shot with your sniper, it's not going to be of much use. And so you're just stuck with a heirloom, and you will have to, get something, a super spray weapon to kind of counter that, or you can just run a sniper with a spray weapon like an LMG or a gold assault rifle or a gatekeeper. That's what's worked for me best personally, but at the end of the day, you're not really playing the Assassin's kit. You're just using the sniper and then a neutral spray weapon to get out of sticky situations and also be able to win these close quarter fights. So again, the Assassin is way better than it was in Realm Royale Classic. Is it better than any other character? I wouldn't think so. In terms of movement, in terms of juking, absolutely. There is, I don't know if it's kind of a sound bug or something, but if you blink atop of someone, they can be confused and, the sound will not play of you being behind them. So if you combine that with a decoy, it can throw people off super easily. But again, I don't think it's simply better than other characters, especially with his weapon kit. That is it for my thoughts on each character, guys. Once again, share your thoughts on each character or the character that you prefer in the comment section down below. Once again, if you enjoyed this type of video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. I upload Realm Royale Reforged quite often, almost every day, and although I'm not the best player, I still want to give my thoughts out and, start a consensus around. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. It was Zero, and I'm out.